Hello, this is Sundry News for Tuesday, June 23rd. And just to mix things up a little, we're going to start with the Daily Yahoo today. COVID-19 will rage like a forest fire in unprepared America, Top Doc warns. This sounds like really old news. This is new news? During an NBC interview, infectious disease expert Michael Osterholm said that other countries have been vigilant in addressing the panic, while America remains unprepared. Oh, brother. TikTok comedian, I'm so sure, knocks it out of the arena over Trump's amazing fake numbers. Famous last words. Nobody's ever heard of numbers like this, lip syncs Sarah Cooper over Donald Trump's great rally expectations. Oh, she sounds hilarious. 6,200 people is still a pretty big number. Britney Spears wears a bikini and a face mask on a beach date with boyfriend Sam Asghari. All you need is love and the beach, the pop star wrote on Instagram. And apparently a mask. Confederate flag-waving Trump supporters praises KKK, vows to teach hate. That doesn't sound real. I will teach my grandkids to hate you all, the woman said at Black Lives Matter protest. Well, the Black Lives Matter as an organization is quite hateable. They are quite detestable. Because that's not really what they're about. They're about destroying America, basically. Teens accidentally solve murder mystery during routine outing. This is freaky. During a routine randonauting session? What the fuck is that? A group of teenagers in Seattle, Washington came across a mysterious abandoned suitcase. Okay, that sounds interesting. A group of teenagers in Seattle, Washington came across a mysterious, abandoned suitcase that had human remains inside of it. For those who are unfamiliar with the term, randonauting is using a random number generator to come up with specific coordinates in your area to explore. Okay. On June 21st, one of the teens involved in the incident, named Henry, posted a video about what happened on TikTok. Randonaut sent us to this part of the beach, and we found this black suitcase, Henry said in the video. We were joking that maybe the suitcase would have money. When Henry and his friends get closer to the suitcase, Henry can be heard saying, "It stinks, y'all." Once the suitcase was fully opened, Henry said that the smell was overwhelming. Eventually, Henry and his friends, who were a little scared and nervous, decided to call the police to see if it's actually a dead body or if it's just food. What did it look like? They called the police in Seattle. Good thing there's still police in Seattle, huh? Well, as Henry later found it, there was actually a dead body inside the suitcase. According to a report from Seattle Police News, police found several bags containing human remains in the area where Henry and his friends located the suitcase. Naturally, people are disturbed by Henry's discovery, especially since Randonautica led him to it. Okay, but the fact that Randonaut led them there is just insane, one person said. Hell nah, this is freaky as hell, another user commented. This is kind of sad and happy. Someone was leading you to find their remains so they could finally find peace, a third user noted. Okay. A little dark, but a little poetic. Some TikTok users are speculating that the dead body is the handiwork of a serial killer in the Seattle area, though the police have yet to comment on this. Either way, if you live in the greater Seattle area, stay safe. Okay. So they didn't actually solve a murder mystery. What's with the deceptive headline? That's not really that's not just deceptive, that's straight up wrong. Teens accidentally solve murder mystery during routine outing. No. They didn't solve anything. They found the beginnings of a mystery. Nothing is solved. Whatever. View photos of the 2020 Toyota 4Runner Venture. Toyota gives its rugged 4Runner SUV some overlanding off-road appeal with the Venture Special Edition's roof-mounted cargo basket from Car and Driver. Featured Simplified election coverage. Inform your vote with one clear place to focus on the facts, issues, and candidates that matter to you. Visit the Yahoo News 2020 Election Center. Yeah, I'm definitely not trusting Yahoo News for all of the facts on the election, especially not when you can't get a simple thing like solving a murder mystery right. That's not what happened. I'm just saying. What's hot? Oh, it's Yahoo Search. You can search for top-rated car insurance, or you can search for food delivery. Trending now, Black Lives Matter, #1. Oh, shocking. Kimberly Brook, coronavirus spike. Sophia Andres, but the coronavirus spike could not have anything to do with the, quote, protests and riots, right? It's not like it's been a couple of weeks now since it all started, and that's the incubation period. Sophia Andres. Thelonious Monk. Okay. AARP Insurance. Misha Barton. Gutter Guards. VA Loan Eligibility. Bienestar Azteca? Bienestar Azteca? What the fuck? Anyway, thank you, Yahoo News. The Daily Wire. Quote, tear them down. Black Lives Matter activist Shaun King calls for destruction of Jesus Christ statues and churches. White supremacy, oppression, racist propaganda. Because there were no slaves back in the slave days who found solace and meaning and hope in Christianity, because that wasn't a thing. All the gospel music that's done by it's done by black people. All the churches that are black people churches. That's not a thing. That's just all bad. That's just all white supremacy. Fucking tool. 104 shot, 14 killed in Chicago weekend violence. Other defund the police target cities see major gun crime incidents. Not shocking. Seattle Autonomous Zone creates black-only segregated area. Is that a new thing? I thought that was almost done with. Load, thank you. The Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, which is now calling itself the Capitol Hill Occupied Zone, apparently created a black-only racially segregated area with white residents of the zone guarding the perimeter so non-blacks could not enter. Doesn't take much to just switch that, flip it over to blacks not being able to leave. There's a video.
How long's the blackout going for?
8 p.m.
Okay, so I have to wait till 8, basically?
No, welcome to hang out in the perimeter.
Well, the thing is, I'm half Italian, half Colombian, so do I get a pass to get in there, or?
Well, this space is right now held for just black.
Oh, just black, okay, so full black, you're saying?
If you have black ancestry, or if you have experienced oppression because you are black, then you can enter the space.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. The idea of segregated spaces for blacks only has been promulgated on college campuses for some time. A 2019 NAS study stated about 46%, 80 colleges out of 173 surveyed, segregate student orientation programs. 43%, 75 colleges out of the total, offer segregated residential arrangements, and 72%, 125 colleges out of the total, segregate graduation ceremonies. What the fuck? In 2016, the University of Connecticut created the Scholars House, short for Scholastic House of Leaders, who are African American researchers and scholars. Oh my goodness. And its director, Professor Eric Hines, stated, "It's a living and learning community that will be a section of a dorm and house about 50 students. It aims to help Black males with classwork and provide them with mentorship, counseling, and prepare them for graduate school because they can't do it for themselves, because they need your help, because they're Black." Oh my goodness. No. That's not what I'm saying. That's what they're saying. That's what you're telling them. You are telling these Black males that they are stupid, basically. They need help when nobody else does, not even the Black women, apparently. In 2017, a student organization at the University of Michigan called Students for Justice demanded that administrators create a space for students of color, writing in their list of demands, create a permanent designated space on Central Campus for Black students and students of color to organize and do social justice work. This is not the same as Trotter Multicultural Center because we want a space solely dedicated to community organizing and social justice work specifically for people of color. So reasonable. The university replied, "There are currently identifiable cross-cultural spaces on campus. The connector that connects West Quad and the Union is an example of cross-cultural spaces. The multicultural lounges and residence halls also serve as cross-cultural spaces. University Housing implemented a multi-year plan to update all 11 multicultural lounges." After a firestorm of criticism erupted from Student for Justice's demands, Vikrant Garg, one of Students for Justice's organizers, told the Washington Post, "I think it's just been a really interesting firestorm. Because we asked for a space for students of color, people automatically assumed that no white students would be allowed, whereas that's never explicit in the language. That was never an agreement, never anything that we thought about." Oh, I'm so sure. Designated space on Central Campus for Black students and students of color to organize. Okay, so they left out the only. That doesn't mean that it never crossed their mind. Come on. A June 16th blog post from Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan stated, "The Capitol Hill organized protest has emerged as a gathering place where community members can demand change of their local, state, and federal government. Capitol Hill and Cal Anderson Park have long been a gathering place for justice. While there have been inaccurate and misleading depictions of the CHOP from the president and some national media, I'm so sure, the city believes First Amendment activities can continue while also maintaining public safety and allowing access for residents and businesses who operate in the area. The city is committed to maintaining space for community to come together, protest, and exercise their First Amendment rights." Okay. Back we go. Audio emerges of Jimmy Kimmel allegedly using N-word, report says. Yes, but it's not as juicy as it could be because this is another case of an old thing. An old comedy special or album or whatever. It's not I can't enjoy the deliciousness of this because it's old. If it were new, that would be good. This is a war zone. Footage of shooting at Chaz live streamed before security can delete it. Ahaha. Facebook is censoring PragerU content. Help us fight back. And more ads. La la la, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Good morning. It's Tuesday, June 23rd. And we're looking under our couch cushions for Wirecard's missing billions. I read about that yesterday. Okay, I didn't actually read about it, but I read the teaser on this email. Need to know. Coronavirus cases surge in Florida. New cases of the coronavirus in the U.S. now account for 20% of new cases reported globally, as more than 20 states grapple with a rise in infections. Florida, one of the earliest states to begin reopening, so it must be because of that, right? Passed 100,000 confirmed cases yesterday with nearly 3,200 deaths. The number of new cases reported daily in the state has more than quadrupled in the past month, with almost 3,000 reported Sunday. Governor Ron DeSantis has attributed the rise to increased testing. Well, there you go. Though data show tests have remained about the same, while the percentage of positive tests increased from 4% to 11% since the beginning of June. Much of the surge is concentrated in southern and western states. Oh, you mean like some of those states where people are gathering and tearing down Confederate statues and that sort of thing? Follow the number of new daily cases compared to each state's reopening status here. Public health. You're really going for that. That's really the cause. The one main cause that you're gonna highlight there is just the reopening. Public health officials have said the infection is still in its first wave, with a potential second wave possible when many return indoors in the fall. Meanwhile, New York City, where the positive test rate is now near 1%, moved into a phase 2 reopening yesterday. In total, the U.S. has reported 2.31 million cases with 120,402 deaths. As of this morning, see the 3-day moving average here. There is a very large number that you could remove from that large number because of things like the people who died who just happened to have COVID in their system. You could take them out. Things like that. The Room Where It Happened, a much-anticipated book from former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton, is expected to hit shelves today, having sidestepped a legal challenge to block its release. The exposé purports to provide behind-the-scenes commentary of the White House during Bolton's tenure from April 2018 to September 2019. Bolton's time spans high-level summits with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, trade negotiations with China, and the delay of Ukrainian aid that ultimately led to impeachment proceedings. Bolton has broadly claimed Trump's foreign policy decisions were motivated by re-election prospects. That's not surprising and probably not very different from the norm of other presidents in their first term. The White House has flatly denied the account while accusing Bolton of revealing classified information. And that's what I think that the White House and Trump should not have said anything about the book ever, because they are achieving the Streisand effect, as it's called. So many people who wouldn't have read the book are now going to be reading the book because you brought so much attention to it. But as I think I speculated yesterday, maybe this is a plan. Maybe they want people to read the book. Who knows? Maybe this is all some big chess game. The White House has flatly denied the account while accusing Bolton of revealing classified information. The manuscript had finished a preliminary clearance review in late April, but officials said sensitive items still remained after further examination. Bolton accused the White House of slow-walking the process and moved forward. The memoir's impact remains to be seen. Bolton himself is widely disliked on both sides of the aisle. A total disaster in Germany. German financial technology firm Wirecard told regulators yesterday that more than $2 billion it had listed in accounts likely never existed. The stunning admission is the latest twist in a scandal that has paralyzed the once soaring company, which specializes in behind-the-scenes digital payment processing. Many critics, some of which say the company targeted them for harassment, have long accused Wirecard of inflating revenue numbers via obscure third parties. Yesterday, company officials conceded at least 3 firms that accounted for an estimated half of annual revenue created fake invoices and likely never conducted any business on behalf of Wirecard. Wow. One often used technique was known as round-tripping, where money would leave a Wirecard-owned bank and sit momentarily in a fake customer account before appearing as a legitimate transaction. Shares of Wirecard, once on the 30 biggest German companies, fell 85% over the past 3 days. Is this like the German mafia? Is the German mafia now exposed? Is there a German mafia? The shades of the season are Danish? From Christopher Clue's Danish Eyewear. Denmark consistently ranks among the happiest countries in the world. They have just about everything, from high scores on income equality to long life expectancy to beautiful people. It's hard to see why Danes wouldn't be happy. Coincidentally, Christopher Clue's glasses are also from Denmark. Now, we're not saying Christopher Clue's eyewear is the reason Danes are so happy, but we're also not saying it. Christopher Clue's sunglasses are the sleeker, smarter, better functioning versions of your current shades. That's right, they're the Denmark of sunglasses. Polarized, beautiful designs and spring-hinged so they hug and don't hurt your face. You'll be wondering how and why you ever bought your last pair of mall kiosk shades. And Christopher Clue's doesn't stop at sunglasses. They also have an elite line of blue light glasses to ease headaches, eye strain, and insomnia that we know all too well from staring at screens all day. If you aren't sold yet, just check out their site today. You'll be leaving with your very own spring-hinged sunglasses or blue light glasses by the end of the day. And use coupon code 1440 for 20% off. Please support our sponsors. There's no way I'm ever buying those glasses with such an obnoxious ad. That's all. In the know. Sports, entertainment, and culture. Entire field of racers at Talladega Superspeedway stands in solidarity with Bubba Wallace, NASCAR's lone black driver, after a noose was found in his garage stall. I just talked about this in the sports email, but I will talk about it again. I do not believe that this was done by somebody not on Bubba Wallace's team. I firmly believe that this is a hoax. I firmly believe that somebody in Bubba Wallace's crew put it there just to keep the conversation going, to get Bubba Wallace back in the news, to achieve everything that has been done, all of this solidarity with Bubba Wallace. Now, another email mentioned how before all this happened, there was some protest going on. There was a procession of trucks with the Confederate flag. There was an airplane that flew by with a Confederate banner. And I think about how that's a lot of people who are putting themselves out there, who are being very visible in what they're standing for. You can see them. You know who they are, if you're there and you saw them. But then over here, later, after all that happened, then later somebody just, stuck a noose in the dude's garage. Couldn't possibly be that one of the crew members took advantage of the situation and just put that in there to, like I said, keep the conversation going. Because that's really what's most important, right? That we keep this status quo, that we keep on making all these changes and making people capitulate and all that. So no, I don't believe that this is real. Continuing on. Joel Schumacher, filmmaker best known for Lost Boys and Batman films, dies at 80 from cancer. The 2021 Golden Globes pushed to February 28th due to the coronavirus panic. MLB owners unanimously vote to impose 60-game season after failing to reach an agreement with Players Union. Science and technology. mini organs grown in the lab known as organoids shown to be infected by the coronavirus. That just happened? Allows researchers to study the virus at the cellular level while testing various treatments. Okay, so they did that on purpose? Okay. That's not what that sounded like. Apple to begin using its own computer chips for products beginning this year. Oh, like instead of getting them from China? That's pretty good. Apple gives Basecamp temporary approval. I wonder how much they're going to increase their prices because of that. Apple gives Basecamp temporary approval for its subscription-based email app, Hey, telling the company it must update its app to meet Apple App Store rules. So elitist. Damn. Fuck Apple. Japanese supercomputer overtakes Oak Ridge National Laboratory's Summit system as the world's fastest. Has a benchmark processing speed of 500 petaflops? 500 million billion calculations per second. Neato. Business and markets. U.S. home sales in May fall to lowest level in more than 9 years. Value of homes increase at smallest rate in 8 years. U.S. stock markets up. Good. S&P 500 up 0.7%. Dow up 0.6%. NASDAQ up 1.1%. As tech stocks see gains, NASDAQ closes at record high. Apparel giant Patagonia joins list of companies suspending Facebook advertising to support Stop Hate for Profit movement. Okay. Politics and world affairs. Seattle to wind down the Capitol Hill occupied protest zone. Oh, so now it's CHOPS. But will not use police to clear the area as of yet. Move, well then how are they going to wind it down, huh? Move follows back-to-back shootings near the zone, unlinked to the protest. Oh, of course it is. You're just gonna completely separate the two. It had nothing to do with the protest zone. It just happened to happen in the protest zone while there were no police allowed in the area. Okay. President Trump extends suspension on new green cards and most types of work visas through the end of the year. Order exempts foreign farm workers. Saudi Arabia will bar foreign visitors from participating in Hajj pilgrimage this year over coronavirus concerns. The annual Islamic holy trip to Mecca typically draws more than 2 million people. I wonder how many are still going to be sneaking in just to do it. In depth. The neuroscience of optical illusions. Cool. From Vox. Reality as we see it appears smooth, but what we actually see is a reconstruction created by our brains that runs about 1/10 of a second behind using discrete signals. Here's a look at how the brain fills in the blanks and why it matters. That sounds cool. Crisis mode from The Verge. For years, employees at Crisis Text Line, which connects people in crisis with counselors across the country on demand, complained about a pattern of racial insensitivity. When the board wouldn't listen, they took their case to Twitter. Oh, of course they did. The employees. So they're just worried about how they're being treated. Not worrying about their jobs, just worrying about how they feel. Hygge? That isn't a typo. We're talking about hygge, the Danish word describing a sensation of comfort, coziness, and contentedness. And hygge is exactly what you'll feel when you put on your first pair of Christopher Clue's sunglasses. Their spring hinges hug your face, extending beyond the typical 90 degrees, so the wide and narrow-headed among us can wear in style. Us narrow-headed people. Or you narrow-headed people. I think I have a wide head. Anyway, whatever. Plus, their sleek styles will have you stealing glances at the mirror all summer long. So check out frames that are straight out of Denmark today with Christopher Clues. Get 20% off with code 1440. Please support our sponsors. Etc. The panic has upended the normally calm cheese market. There better not be a cheese shortage. I love cheese. I need my cheese. Visualizing the true size of Earth's various land masses. Okay. 30 beers that help change America. From our partners, escape to a 5-star resort in Belize for just $229. Yeah, who would want to go to Belize? No, that's why it's so cheap. Choose your dates with the peace of mind that your trip is fully refundable. Book now here. Okay, let's see who it is since they don't say. It is Travel Zoo. TravelZoo.com. Okay. Aerial footage captures 1 million flowers woven into a blanket. Okay. One chart captures the U.S. population in each generation. Where to find the best Black history museums in the country. Okay. Feel like there's an abundance of fireworks going off? You're not alone. I haven't seen any. This is what an auditory illusion sounds like. Clickbait. Women won't date men who have this one trait. No job. Live at their parents' house. Weak. Weak men? That's a good one. History book. Computer scientist Alan Turing, born 1912. Track and field great Wilma Rudolph, born 1940. Title IX enacted, bans gender discrimination in public education and sports, 1972. Rest in peace, polio vaccine developer Jonas Salk, 1995. United Kingdom votes to leave the EU, 2016. Wow, that was a long time ago. It took forever. The reward for work well done is the opportunity to do more, Jonas Salk. That's a good quote. Thank you, 1440. And if there's anybody listening or watching, whatever, if there's anybody there, please consider subscribing. Be kind, subscribe.